In a tense review hearing, a mother challenges the accuracy of lab drug tests, pushing back on dates, reports, and whether results can be trusted. The judge doesn't flinch. She explains how positives are reconfirmed by regulated labs, why hair tests take longer, and orders a UA plus hair test with a strict ban on cutting or altering hair. The judge warns a future jury will care deeply about those results, and that cooperation, not argument, is the mother's path to reunification. It's a raw look at accountability, due process, and a parent fighting the system. Thanks for all your support, and we really hope you liked the video. And remember, as always, please like and subscribe. It helps the channel out a lot. Let's get into it.
In the interest of the McGuire children, we're here on a permanency hearing. We are conducting this through Zoom. We're live streaming, and Ms. Galvan is making our record today. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Good morning, Your Honor. Counsel Gene Graff and Aaron Sessions on behalf of St. Francis, present and ready to proceed.
Judge Vince Nowak filling in for Brooks Barfield today on behalf of Mom, Krista McGuire.
Your Honor, I'm Tate Eldridge. I represent the father, Jacob McGuire. I don't believe he's here, but I'm present ready.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of the children.
All right, thank y'all. Okay, let's see. Ms. Sessions, my understanding is you're gonna fill in for us today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What's new?
Nothing much new since the court report was filed. The kids are doing okay. They are struggling a bit. They all have pretty significant behavioral issues. They're doing okay in school though. We had a meeting with their placement last week, and they were kind of filling us in on the latest, and they're not willing to, they're not ready to put in a discharge or anything on them yet. They're going to get them some extra support there in placement, but Jalissa went to go see them on Friday in person. I haven't been able to talk to her about that, but the kids are doing okay. They are not wanting, to my understanding from placement, they're not wanting to have regular visitation with Mom. That's kind of been an issue lately. They're not wanting to get on the phone calls with her. I know when she first got out in July, they were having pretty regular contact, but recently that has changed. So I'm not really sure what that's about, but I'm going to start addressing it in therapy, potentially like get the therapist in on these visits and kind of see what's going on. Dad has maintained no contact. Jalissa goes by his house fairly regularly. She hears people in the home. No one ever answers the door. He will not respond to text messages or anything. He has done no services. Mom was released on July the 4th, I believe. And she is working on getting through her services. She has a couple of things completed and is in the middle of doing the rest of them. She's currently living with her grandmother, and she's working on getting a car, and I believe she's also working. But she applied for HUD to try to get her own housing. She's on the waiting list for that, but she's slowly making her way through these services.
Have we started any kind of family therapy?
No. So this was really just brought to our attention last week when we had that get together with placement. And so we're not really sure what's going on. The kids really do want to talk to Dad, and I know that Dad wants to talk to them, but he is not engaging with us. He said he was not going to do any services, just wanted to see the kids. Well, that's not happening either. So I'm not sure what's going on with the kids with regard to Mom, but there's definitely been a shift recently.
Kids in therapy?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Has Mom done her individual counseling?
No, ma'am. She was originally set up with Jennings Counseling, I believe, when she called to try to get scheduled with them, that they were not taking new clients, to my understanding. I'm not sure who she has I know Jalissa had provided her with some alternative providers. I'm not sure who she's reached out to. Our payment still is for Jennings Counseling, so I don't know if she's initiated that service. I know that's one thing that she had not done anything on at the time the court report was filed.
Okay, well, that's clearly not her fault.
Right.
Okay, well, when we get when I make the rounds here, we'll find out a little more about that. Okay. Is
Any
she
other-
actively working some other services?
Yes, ma'am. She is
Okay.
doing her parenting. She's completed RBT. She's completed her psychosocial, I believe, and she's completed her TPC evaluation. She's not required to do an OSAR at this time because she's been clean since she was released. So the only thing that I believe that has not been started is counseling.
Yeah, and I can confirm the court report does indicate that Jennings had indicated no currently taking new clients, but that Ms. Bird has sent Ms. McGuire a list of providers and phone numbers. So we'll look for an update from Mom, but looks like that's the only outstanding service right now.
Okay. Because I'd like her to get into that and then, get a little ways into that and then maybe start this family therapy. So we need to, we probably need to start looking for who's going to do family therapy. So
Yes,
if
ma'am.
we-
And I'm so
No.
sorry.
If we got to get on the list, then we're on, at least we're on the list.
And we also have the option of trying to coordinate some of that with the children's therapist as well. I'm not sure if that's something, because Jalissa went on Friday and then she immediately went to Virginia on Monday. So I haven't really had the opportunity to follow up with her on what happened at the visit. But something placement, their case manager at their placement is not opposed to that. She recognizes that some things are going on with the kids as well. And so that's something that we can look into also. But I agree that this is something we need to start sooner than later.
Okay. All right. So that you can make a note for Ms. Berg. Let's get on that and
Yes,
try to
ma'am.
get that rolling. Even though that's sort of not the normal order of things, but I don't know that it is that big a deal in this situation. So if we get family therapy started before she can get her individual, then so be it. Okay. Mr. Nowak is sitting in for Mr. Barfield. Thank you for doing that. What do you got this morning?
No questions for Aaron, Judge. Thank you.
Okay, anything to report on behalf of Mom?
I don't. It looks like, I've read over the report. It looks like Mom's doing really, really well. But because I'm not her normal lawyer here, I'm going to ask Krista, is there anything that you want to talk about?
Ms. McGuire, you're muted, so if you can unmute for me.
It looks like she's doing well on everything she's been. There she goes. Hey, Krista, is there anything that we need to talk about while the judge and everyone is here?
Yeah, I just wanted to try to get my kids. I know they're upset by staying in foster care a little bit longer, but I just wanted to see what I could do about getting them to visit me.
Well, that's what we're talking about. Let me ask you, have you made any contact or headway with an individual counselor?
No. I'm trying to get on the waiting list for Steve Jennings, but I just got sent the list of different counselors, so I was gonna contact them tomorrow to see if I could get on their waiting list.
Okay. Yeah, contact, all of those and see what, see where you can get in the quickest.
Yes.
So what we've been talking about is we want to try to work with the kids therapist and then join you in that at times in family therapy, since we're having this hiccup with the kids wanting to visit and all that.
And I was also trying to do an in-person visit where we met up in Lubbock or something like that, because they said it has to be approved by a judge first.
Well, Miss Sessions, where are the kids placed?
They're placed in Odessa.
Okay. So Lubbock's about halfway. Can we get an in-person setup?
We probably could. We can arrange to transport the kids.
I think that might, maybe the kids get excited about that. Maybe that'll, ignite a little bit of a fire here. I mean, I get it. If all they've been able to do is virtual, I mean, at some point in time, that probably gets pretty mundane. So,
And anytime that Miss McGuire is able to go to Odessa, also, we could set up as many in-person visits in that area as she could make happen. But we could definitely set up something to get the kids transported halfway.
okay, I want to look at getting that done. And of course, I want Ms. Zavala to weigh in because she's, likely had contact with the kids and placement and everything else. And so she may have some light to shed on all this. I don't know, but let me just ask Mr. Eldridge, anything to report?
No, I've had no contact from Mr. McGuire at all. We've sent him a couple letters, no responses to anything.
Okay, so he doesn't like you any better than he likes these other folks.
No, apparently not.
Okay then. Ms. Zavala, what do you know about all this and what's your input?
So, I had a Zoom meeting with the kids last night, actually, and it's the first time that I've had them all together in one Zoom. And I will tell you, it's chaos. It is chaos to have them all together. And I will never do the visit that way again. But it also tells me that it might be the same with mom. And not as a, not that she's doing anything wrong. And in the past, the girls especially have been pretty vocal with me about some concerns about mom. This time when I talked to them, they didn't have anything negative to say about mom at all. They just said, we don't have anything to talk about. So one thing that might help, and this may feel backwards, but the kids are placed in kind of related, a boys' home and a girls' home, and they do have regular contact with each other. I'm wondering if we need to kind of separate out the kids so she could have shorter, more one-on-one discussions with each child. Not as not a punishment to make the visits shorter or anything like that. I just think it might be more productive if she could have an actual conversation with one child and then move on to the next child. And maybe we can have kind of alternate visits, one-on-one, and then I don't know, but all together virtually is really, really incredibly difficult. And one thing that might help is if mom could kind of almost have like a list of things she wants to talk about with each child, because herding cats is one way to describe it. But none of the kids had anything negative to say about mom. And these kids have been pretty vocal with me before and haven't been afraid of sharing their concerns. So it feels like some progress. Now, I have not gotten a chance to talk with placement about this, but I know the report reflects that the girls, at least with one of their therapists, they've just stopped communicating. And that doesn't really surprise me at this point based on my interactions with them. So I don't know how to address that either. It sounds like they've got kind of some group therapy going on with the siblings, which I think is a great idea. I think placement is trying some different options with them. But I think in-person visits, I think you're right. I think the kids would be much more excited about that. So I'm for it if we can make those happen. And if we can make some changes to those virtual visits, I think they might be more effective.
Do you think if we tried her doing a visit with the girls, they can talk about girl stuff, and then doing a visit with the boys, and then talk about boy stuff?
Maybe.
They're all at the ages where that's real different,
Yeah.
And maybe split it up that way, and then if we could set it up where mom would have that 2 virtual visits a week, one with the girls, one with the guys, and then maybe that following week, then if we can do an in-person, great, with all the kids, and that would be maybe an in-person visit twice a month. Ms. McGuire, could you get to Lubbock twice a month?
Yeah, I can. I'll try.
So we do, virtual with girls, virtual with boys one week, and then we do a in-person with all the kids the following week. And then we do virtual,
They want to know if we could take her to Lubbock twice a month so she could see the kids in person. We should be able to do that. We should be able to do that. Yeah, we'll be able to do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, I would be able to do that.
Ms. Sessions, I know it's hard with school and all that. I mean, I know it's a tough workaround, but let's see. So Ms. McGuire, they're going to have to figure out the logistics of that. I've got no ability to do that sitting here today, other than they understand the concept of what I'm wanting to do and what I really would like to see happen. I just think the kids would be more fired up if they got to have some in-person visits.
Yeah.
Period. So, kids have so much screen time as it is that, it becomes where it's just kind of like everything else they're doing. It's just like going to school. It's just like doing everything else. So, let's see if we can't kind of work on that and make that happen. And then you get on the phone with these counselors tomorrow. And let's see who all, where maybe we can get you in.
Okay.
Okay, Ms. Zavala, did you have anything else today?
No, Your Honor. I know placement is continuing to work with all the kids. There are a number of behavior issues. There seems to be a little bit of progress there, and I'm hoping they stick with it, because I like that they're close enough to be able to visit. I like that they're close to each other.
Okay. Yes, I was wondering what are some of their behavioral issues that they're having.
I don't know that we want to go into a lot of detail on YouTube. Just some physical and verbal aggression, I think, would be a good way to describe that.
Oh, okay.
Ms. McGuire, when Ms. Bird is back, I mean, she can probably fill you in with any kind of detail that you want. We kind of hate to get into some of those details while we're out on YouTube.
Okay.
And I think some of them are detailed in the report for the court, and I'm sure we can email that to you if you don't have it.
Yeah. Okay. Vince, you might make a note for Mr. Barfield's office if they would make sure Mom gets a copy of that.
I'll do it, Judge. Thank you.
Thanks. Appreciate it. All right, then today we're going to continue the department as temporary managing conservator, and we will continue placement of the children. I mean, I'm happy they're still all together. That's good. We want to maintain that at all costs. I would find that there is a continuing danger to return the children home at this time, but that Mom is in compliance with her service plan right now. I'm actively working it. So hopefully we're moving in the right direction. Let's try to implement this new schedule that we've discussed, with doing virtual visits one week, a visit with the girls, visit with the boys, and then in person the next week with all kids. Just rotate that around. Start the family fit therapy as soon as we can. So the wheels don't come off any more than they may be starting to.
Judge, may I ask Aaron Sessions a question?
You bet.
Hey, Aaron, do you have Krista's email address?
No, I do not.
Okay. Hey, Krista, if you've got a pen, I'll give you my email address, and I can send you this report right after we're done with today's hearings.
So,
Have you got a pen, ma'am?
yes, I got a pen.
VENOWAK@gmail.com.
VENOWAK
Yes, at gmail.com.
at Gmail.
Just send me a blank email, and I'll send you this report the minute I'm done with hearings this morning.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Judge, and thank you, Aaron.
Yep. Appreciate it, Mr. Noah. Okay, then, I find the father is not in compliance with his service plan. So, I will see everybody back December 11th of 2025, 9 o'clock docket. That is when our final is set.
Yeah, and Your
Okay.
Honor, if mom stays on the trajectory she's on, we would anticipate likely seeking an extension at that point in time. My client does have one request. I apologize for not raising this issue sooner. That is, dad's not participating in services, and mom is, because she was clean, she was not deemed, OSAR was not deemed necessary. But St. Francis is asking for the ability to do ongoing drug testing as may be warranted.
Is that
We just
not,
need one today. We just need one for today for mom and dad. Court ordered, please.
okay, that's in their family plans, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we're not adding something in. We're just
Understand.
implementing.
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So Ms. McGuire, I'm going to order you, and I'm going to order Mr. McGuire. I don't know that he'll go, obviously, but I'm going to order you to go drug screen for us today. And what
Okay.
sessions did you say? Hair, UA, what?
For mom, just a UA, and for dad, both. And the
Okay.
payments are already at Care Express.
All right. So it's
and-
just a UA today, Ms. McGuire.
Yes, ma'am. And even though Jake's not doing his classes, I have family support. I have my stepmom and my dad and my grandma willing to help me. So I'll be able to go back and forth to Lubbock, and I'll have somebody to help me get the kids to and from school and help me babysit them while I go to work.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Because that's the direction we want to head, and that's where we want this to all come out in the end, is that the kids get home.
Okay.
So hang on to your support system.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, then I'll see y'all back in December. I also fully anticipate, if we keep on this trajectory, we'll be looking at an extension, so we can obviously talk about that before December 11th by email.
What time on December 11th?
It'll be on a 9 o'clock docket. It may
Okay.
not be right at 9, but your attorney can let you know, or your caseworker will know the time.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge. Take care.
Thanks, Judge.
In the interest of Draylon Draper, we are here today for a review. We're conducting this through Zoom. We are live streaming, and Ms. Galvan is making our record. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Daniel Trout for the department. Michelle Slago is my permanency specialist. We're present, ready, Your Honor.
Vince Nowak filling in for Brooks Barfield on behalf of Brian Draper. I'm president. I see Brian is present. We're ready, Judge.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of the child.
Okay, from reading the report, we've got mostly good news today, sounds like. So, Ms. Slagle, if you want to give us the update and tell us where we're headed.
We actually are doing his placement today for his monitored return with his parents. We've been doing unsupervised for a little over a month now. The parents are doing fantastic. They've finished services. They've got the home ready for Draylon, and they're doing fantastic.
Okay, sounds like a wonderful plan. Maybe that accounts for the big smiles on their face today.
Yes, probably.
Probably so. Okay. All right, and so we're going to do an official monitored return, not just placement.
Judge, at this point, it's whatever St. Francis wants to do. I'm fine with just a placement right now. We still have 2 months before the deadline on this case. It may be we can get out of it before that December date. If not, we can do a monitored return at that point, but it's whatever everybody wants to do. If we want to start the monitored return now, that's fine. If we want to just do a placement right now, that's fine too, Your Honor.
Okay, this could be real confusing to the parents. So let me explain. So there's two different ways we can get him home. Okay. Either way, he's going home today. That's not changing. And really, as long as you guys continue to do well, none of this probably will end up mattering. But if we do this, what we call on a monitored return today, and I sign an order for monitored return, that starts a 6-month time frame. Trying to think of the best way to explain this to y'all. So right now, we have an absolute dismissal date in your case, December 5th. Okay, that's kind of what we call the drop dead date. Where we have to complete everything. Your case is set for trial on December 4th. So a couple months away. If we do a monitored return order today, it changes that dismissal date and resets it for 6 months out. We probably won't take 6 months. You know, I mean, if everything continues to go well, we'll be out of your lives long before 6 months is up. If things don't go well, or we have some hiccups or whatever, just things we need to deal with, we've got 6 months to deal with it. Okay. Now, if we just did what we call placement with you all, the original dismissal date stays in effect of December 5th of this year. And if we get to that point and we needed more time, then we could do it under a monitored return, and that would give us an additional 6 months. So it's kind of whether we think we're going to need 6 months or 8 months at the most. It's kind of what that amounts to. I don't think we're going to need either scenario. I don't think we're going to need that much time, but that's the difference. Okay. So, the report had said a monitored return, so likely that may be what your attorneys discussed with you, versus placement. So does anybody have any real strong feelings about it?
I don't either way, Your Honor.
I think, let's start the clock ticking now. Shaves 2 months off of the time these folks will be with us. Assume it all goes well.
Yeah. Ms. Zavala?
I'm fine either way.
Okay. Okay. Let's just go ahead. I have a very good feeling about it. So let's just do a monitor return today.
Yes, ma'am.
So that just resets the clock, maximum of 6 months. But you guys maintain and keep doing what you're doing, and it ain't gonna be that long. You're still gonna be set for our final hearing December 4th. My hope is that we'll be ready to just dismiss and get out of everything by then.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
But that date is still out there, and then if something happens and we have some hiccup that we need to work through with y'all, we might not actually do a hearing that day. We might push that out, a little bit or something. So
Yes, ma'am.
anyway, we have some flexibility. Okay.
And
All
Judge,
right,
that'll
then.
put the dismissal date from the day 180 days out, would put it February 27th.
Okay.
2026.
And because Mr. Hammond signed off on an order, and I think he
Yeah.
probably signed that under the impression that it was going to be an order for monitored return. I also feel like, in fairness, that's what we need to do today.
Yes, ma'am.
So, okay. Okay, Mr. Nowak, anything to add today?
Judge, it looks like mom and dad have been doing excellent, along with the help from the department and their lawyers. And I don't want to say anything to upset the apple cart. Just happy to fill in for Brooks and y'all, Brian, Brian, just proud of y'all. Keep up the good work, man.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you.
Okay. Ms. Zavala.
Your Honor, I got to go out to the house on Sunday afternoon, leading up to official placement. Draylon was getting to be in the home. So I got to see him for a tiny tiny little bit in the home. He was in the middle of the best looking nap ever. But I did get to see the home. I got to see little sister. I got to talk with the parents. Everybody seemed to be doing really great. Previous placement grandparents have spoken very highly about how well parents are doing. I left the visit feeling very good about what was going on, and I'm hopeful that we won't need that whole 6-month period because it was looking and sounding very good. And I'm smart enough to know not to wake up a toddler in the middle of a really good nap.
Been there, done that, haven't you? Okay, so congratulations to y'all. Thank you for your hard work. Really, we just wish we had more of these. So everybody's really, really proud of you, and we're just happy that this is the way it's turning out. So anyway, just keep your focus. All right, then I'm gonna sign the order for monitored return, and we'll set the new dismissal date for February 27th of 2025. And as I said, we are set for a final December 4th, 2025 on a 9 o'clock docket. Okay. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
You
Thank you,
too.
Judge.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thanks.
In the interest of Tremaya Campbell Johnson, we're here today on a review hearing. We are conducting this through Zoom. We are live streaming, and Ms. Gavan is making our record today. All right, we will go ahead and take announcements.
Daniel Trout for the department, Jordan Alford's the permanency specialist. We're present ready, Your Honor.
Vince Noack, on behalf of Kiston Campbell.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of Tremaya.
All right, thank you. Okay, I've obviously reviewed the court report. So we can talk about anything new that's occurred since that report was filed, and then any concerns that we have.
Okay, there's not a whole lot new with Tremaya, other than what's in the court report. She's been doing swimming lessons. She's loving that. I've gotten several videos of her swimming, and so she's having a bunch of fun with that. But she's doing well at this time. She has struggled with some emotional regulation, but she is with a new therapist since her move there to the new home. So we're hoping that will, resolve that. She's just had some changes a lot lately, so I think that's pretty normal. As far as Miss Campbell goes, not any real update since the court report was filed. She did report she's working at JBS. I have not received any pay stubs at this time. We did have a family team meeting last month on the 22nd, and she was sent to drug screen that day. I know we talked about this kind of at the motion hearing, but she did do the UA and tested positive. She refused the hair strand. So I would like to ask for a UA and a hair strand today. As far as Mr. Johnson goes, I have no update on him.
All right, you said she did the UA, and was it positive?
Yes.
Okay.
For methamphetamine.
For methamphetamine. Okay, but she refused the hair, so you want them both today. Okay. I want to make sure I had all that correct. Okay.
Yes.
Ms. Alford, I'm sorry, do we have all the release of informations that we need?
No.
Okay. Do we have any release of informations at this point?
Yes, we do have the one for her counselor, but that's the only one.
Okay. So you need the release of information from her other providers.
Yes.
Do you have any specific ones right now that you're trying to get information from that you can't?
Let me see which one it was. I believe it was, oh, Senecor.
That's the main one you're trying to get information from, but you need the release from all the other providers also.
Yes, she has provided the release for her therapist. I think the only one we need now is the Senecor.
Okay.
Okay. Has that been sent to her?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Campbell, do you have that?
No, I don't.
Okay, do you still have a working email?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna ask Ms. Alford to send that to you again. So be looking for that when you get home or whenever you can check your email. Is Ms. Alford, is this something she can just sign electronically?
Yes, I can send it to her via DocuSign.
Okay, so Ms. Campbell, that's something you could do right off your phone or a computer,
Yes,
either
ma'am.
one.
Okay.
Have you done a DocuSign before?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So you know that they're real easy to use. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Are you willing to sign that release?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I appreciate it. Okay then. Anything else, Ms. Alford?
No, ma'am.
All right.
Ms. Alford, just so we're clear on everything, and ever since everybody's sitting here, what services do we need mom to finish completing?
She will need to do another OSAR since she has tested positive again. She needs to complete, let's see.
While she's looking, do you need Ms. Jones? She's in my waiting room. Kathy Jones?
No, ma'am, she's on supervisor on one of the adversaries.
All right, sorry.
No worries.
Sorry, Ms. Alford.
No worries. Her continued individual counseling. Let's see, her parenting classes. We do have a couple of certificates from those, but she's only provided us 3, I believe. And she's reported that she has completed more. And then her inpatient or outpatient drug treatment. She did report to me last week that she was going to inpatient rehab. Since she's saying she's at work, I'm assuming that did not happen. So.
But as far as outpatient, she's going to Senecor outpatient.
That's what she's reported, but I've not been able to confirm that.
Okay.
That's why we need the Senecor.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Obviously. Okay. Did they keep funding to do that?
I don't know.
My insurance is paying for that.
Okay, your insurance through work?
No, through just my insurance that I pay for.
Okay. All right.
Ms. Alford, what about the I see on the Texas Panhandle Center's evaluation stuff, did we complete all of that? Is she good on that service?
Yes, she completed that service, but she was not honest in her assessment about her drug usage. So I don't think it was very accurate, but she did complete it.
Okay.
Okay, Miss Campbell, what time do you get off work today?
At 2, but I catch the bus back.
Okay. What time do you get back to Amarillo?
Probably about 3:30, a little before maybe.
Then do you have a car?
No, but my son, he doesn't work today.
Do you work tomorrow?
I can call in.
Well, I need you to go drug screen. That's what I'm trying to
Okay.
find out. What time?
Okay.
You're not going to be back in time today to do that. So can you go first thing in the morning to do that?
Yes.
Okay, then I'm going to order that you be there before noon tomorrow
Okay.
That's going to be a UA and a hair. You got to give us that hair so we kind of know where we stand on things.
Okay, and the only reason why I didn't do it last time, it's because it hadn't been like, I guess I'll do it every so often, every 90 days or 30 days or whatever. So that's the only reason why I didn't. And about my services, I've completed my counseling, which I still go to by choice. I've completed my 10 classes of parenting, but I still do parenting by choice. I've sent Mr. Vinson a few of my certificates. Like, I pretty much finished all of my services except for the cynical.
Okay, well, if we're missing some of the certificates, you may need to send them again. Just so that we've got them and we can, mark those things off that you've completed them.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
let me explain about the drug testing, because let me just put it this way. The department typically will drug screen you, do a UA once every 30 days and then typically a hair every 90. But that there's no rule about that. The truth
Yes,
is, I
ma'am.
mean, I can order you to go anytime I want to order you to go. And it doesn't matter. I mean, I could order you to go do a hair test every week if I thought that was necessary.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so there's not a schedule. That's why it's called random drug screening. So it isn't your worry about how frequently those are happening or infrequently. I mean, sometimes, sometimes parents are doing well and we just skip over doing a hair test every 90 days. But your job is to just go when you're ordered to go do them. Be sure that you give those screens, because you see, when you didn't do the hair the last time, it's presumed positive.
Yes, ma'am.
I have nothing to refute it,
Yes,
so,
ma'am.
So, it's just, I can't tell you again, and we've had this conversation, but because drugs have been a problem in this case, and because, we're talking about a 6-year-old who's totally dependent on her caregivers, I gotta know that you got the drug problem licked and that you're clean and that you're staying clean and that you can be, on top of your game as a mother. And trust me, you can't when you're using. So parenting's hard enough when you're stone cold sober, much less if you're under the influence. So that's why it's so important for me to know. And you've asked for a jury trial. So
Yes.
I'm just telling you, that's going to be a real important issue to those 12 people sitting in the jury box.
Yes, ma'am. And my thing with the hair follicle is if it takes 90 days for it to come out of your hair, that's why I wasn't wanting to, because it hadn't been 90 days. But it seems to me that ever since my visitation has been stopped based upon the drug screens, that my drug screens have all came back positive.
Well, again, that isn't, it's not for you to, I mean, I understand you may be concerned about it may still show positive, but you see, that's why we get levels on all those tests. So if you had a prior positive, let's just say, and I'm not saying these are dates. I'm just saying as an example. Let's say you had a positive hair test in February, and then you didn't go for the 90 days after that because you were worried it might still be positive. And then we send you again, what we're looking at is, I mean, if you'd gone to the subsequent one, we'd be looking to see, was the level lower? Did it go from 30,000 down to, 8,000? Okay, then that's a positive move because it shows that it's going down. And when it reduces enough, we have a pretty good idea that then you aren't using, and especially if your UAs have been negative. So, my concern is you gave a positive UA this last go round. So in all likelihood, that's going to show up in your hair test that you're going to do for me tomorrow.
Okay, but Judge, how accurate are these test results? I mean, because I requested a case file, a copy of my case file from my attorney, and pretty much nothing on there is accurate. None of the dates are correct. The investigation report isn't correct. So who's to say these test results are correct?
Well, the tests are not done by the Department of Family and Protective Services or St. Francis Ministries. It's done through a licensed and regulated laboratory, drug
But they're
lab.
sent to the department, right?
They have access to them, yes. I mean, I think they have a portal that like you do with your own doctor. I think they can go in on a portal and pull the results off, but they have nothing to do with generating those reports or those results. And sometimes those drug screens can be kind of tricky to read because they give different dates in there. It's like the date they collect a specimen and then the date that things are actually tested. And so there may be all kinds of dates in those reports. You just have to kind of know how to read them. But
so they get the reports from an email, or like, I'm not understanding how they receive them.
I think they go in an actual, like a portal. Like I would, if I go to the doctor, I have a health portal, you know, I can go in and I can pull off all my own records. I can look at my lab results. I can, you know, and that's the similar kind of thing. They have a you know, a secure portal into the lab to only obtain. They can only obtain the records they're entitled to obtain.
Yes, ma'am.
They can't just get anybody's stuff, you know.
Yes, ma'am.
But
I was kind of confused about that because on the investigation report, the reason why it took a month to come back is because they were mailed. So I didn't know how exactly they were getting the results.
well, here, and I'll just tell you, when tests are positive, it takes longer to get the results back because then they go through, like, so that the lab tests something, and if they get a positive result, it gets sent for a further evaluation to confirm, to be sure, in other words. So it gets reviewed again and looked at again. And so when we have positive results, they always take longer to come back. And the hair tests take longer than the UAs. You know,
Yes.
it's just a fact of how that testing works. It just takes longer to get the hair tested and it takes longer to get those results back. And then if they are positive, you know, it gets kicked back into a different part of the lab to do a confirmation of it. So, you know, negative results typically come back really quick. It's the positives that take longer.
Yes.
So I'm trying to explain to you why it may have taken that long to get it back, because they're double checking. You know, we want the lab to be accurate. We don't want incorrect results. The lab doesn't want to give incorrect results, you know. So that's why they double check them. Okay.
Yes.
Does that help?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But again, I want to stress to you, you know, I mean, right now, I mean, I'm the one that makes decisions in your case ultimately. But, you know, believe it or not, Ms. Campbell, I'm a pretty big cheerleader for my parents.
Yes, ma'am.
I want you to succeed. I want you to do well. But once you walk through those courtroom doors with a jury, I'm no longer the decision maker. Those 12 people are going to be making the decision about your case, which is a great thing. I'm a total believer in the jury system. I love the jury system. You know, it's the best system in the whole wide world. And so I'm happy for you to have the advantage of that. But what I'm telling you sitting here today is those 12 people are going to absolutely care about what your drug screens have said and whether or not you've gone for those. It is going to be such a huge, huge factor for those folks. So
yes,
I can't always tell you what juries, really focus in on. Sometimes they focus in on things that the rest of us didn't think was a big deal. But I can tell you that's one for sure I know. They're going to be looking at that. So,
Yes, ma'am.
If you'll cooperate with me on these things, the only person you're hurting when you don't go right now is yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
And of course your daughter.
Yes.
So,
Which I know nothing about. I've heard nothing. I heard Miss Alfred say that she received videos of my daughter, but I haven't. Anytime I ask the department or the attorney assigned to this case, like, I know nothing about my child, and no one ever tells me anything about my child.
I thought at our last hearing, we talked about getting pictures and things to you. And so I think, Ms. Alford, has that happened?
No.
I did send them.
Okay.
3 pictures a month ago?
No,
3
I sent
pictures.
additional pictures.
Okay, I haven't received them.
Okay.
I sent them to your same email, but I can send them again.
I'll ask her to send them again, Miss Campbell, but so check your email, and if you're not getting those, then let your attorney know. I'll ask Ms. Alford to send them to Mr. Nowak too, so that we know he's got them, and if there's some problem,
And Mr. Nowak is not my attorney anymore. My new attorney will be stepping in. They just had court today, so.
Well, okay, but he is still your attorney today, because he's not there. I haven't signed any order substituting any attorney on his behalf. So whoever your attorney is going to be, tell them they better get on the ball in a hurry, because we're running out of time.
Yes, they will.
So as soon as I see a motion for substitution, and then I mean, we all know what to do on this end.
Mm-hmm.
But until then, Mr. Nowak is very much your attorney.
Hmm.
So till somebody substitutes in, he is your lawyer.
Okay.
And I can't stress to you again, you're very lucky. Okay.
Judge, can I ask Ms. Alford something real quick?
Absolutely.
Ms. Alford, I see in the court report, you are asking that Ms. Campbell be ordered not to cut or alter her hair for the hair follicles. Is that a request you're making today also?
Yes.
Okay. Have we had issues with that? Or is that a
Yes.
concern?
I believe so. Before I was the caseworker, yes.
Okay.
We've never had issues with that, and this has been discussed already, and I haven't cut or altered my hair at all.
Ms. Alford, that is a request you're making of the court to decide on.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. I have nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Zavala, anything today? Or Mr. Nowak, anything else to add today? I'm so sorry.
No question for the witness, Judge. Thank you.
Okay. Anything to add today?
I just wanted to work really, really hard for my client. And sometimes it's difficult trying to practice law through text messages and emails. That's all I've got, Judge. Thank you.
Okay. All right, Ms. Zavala.
Your Honor, I've gotten to video visit with Tremaya. She's doing very well. I do recommend that placement continue.
Okay. All right, today we will continue the department as temporary managing conservator, and we will continue the child's current placement. Find a continuing danger to return the child home at this time. I'm going to find that mom is in partial compliance with our services. We need to get those missing certificates and things rounded up, Ms. Campbell, and get that stuff in.
Yes, ma'am.
So that, so that I know, and then I can find you're in compliance, but I don't know until we get the missing pieces in.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but my father is not in compliance. All right, I'm gonna order that Ms. Campbell not cut or alter her hair for the pendency of this case. And so that means coloring it, highlighting, bleaching, I mean, any of those things. You just need to leave your hair alone, your natural hair. I'm also going to order Mom to do a hair and UA tomorrow before noon. Did y'all ask me for something on Dad? A drug screen on Dad? I'm sorry.
No, ma'am, I don't
Okay.
think there's been much contact with him. We did not ask for that.
Okay. All right, then
And-
I will see everybody back December 1st.
And Judge, just on the orders, we're asking to make sure that she sends the release of informations or signs those.
Yeah, I mean, it's already in her service plan, but I'm gonna court order her to sign that release that for Centacor. So, Ms. Campbell, you may have a whole lot of stuff hitting your inbox, so you need to check it all real carefully.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, December 1st of 2025, we will start at 9 a.m. for a jury trial. That obviously will be here in person. Ms. Campbell, if you are hiring an attorney and you've got somebody that's going to sub in, boy, they need to be doing it.
Yes, ma'am. He will today.
Okay. All right, then. Thank y'all, and I'll see you in December. In the interest of Brian Aben, we're here today set for our adversary hearing. We are conducting this through Zoom. We are live streaming, and Ms. Galvan's making our record. Okay, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Daniel Trout for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. We are present, ready, Your Honor.
Meredith Graff appearing for Pamela Oakley, the mother, and we are present and ready.
Vince Nowak filling in for Brooks Barfield, and I'm here today on behalf of the child, Judge. Thank you.
Mr. Novak, thank you for subbing in.
My
Appreciate it.
pleasure. My pleasure.
All right. Council, anybody need breakout rooms, announcements? Were we ready to go?
I think we're ready to go, Your Honor. I did receive a signature and an email from Ms. Graff on behalf of her client that they are in agreement with the temporary managing conservatorship and mom to work services. We're not asking for any child support or medical support at this time. Dad, we've issued citation service to him. He's incarcerated. I have not seen that come back yet. I have not seen him fill out any paperwork for an attorney at this time. He has been advised of the case and the hearing date today, but we would need to take testimony on him, Your Honor.
Okay. Let me just ask, since Ms. Katie's email is down, anybody from the department, has anybody sent Ms. Katie or forwarded to her anything from Mr. Aben? Any attorney request?
I have not received anything back from him. I did mail the paperwork to him, but I've not received anything back.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to double check. So since Ms. Katie didn't have access to her email all day yesterday or yet today, I'm just double checking because it would have come from you in all likelihood. Correct, Ms. Bailey?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you haven't gotten it, so we haven't gotten it. So
no, ma'am.
Very good. All right, Ms. Groff, is that correct? Your client is agreeable to the TMC?
Yes, Your Honor. She's willing to do services. I believe she talked to Ms. Brady yesterday, and I saw there's an email from Ms. Brady in my inbox. I haven't been able to respond to it yet, but we're hoping to get my client over to get a baseline drug test as soon as possible. My client would like to have shorter, more frequent visits on Zoom with her son just because he has a shorter attention span. And so an hour is not really, it's not helpful because he can't sit in front of the camera that long. So she's asking for 2 or 3 half-hour visits, and even a half hour. We'll have to monitor that. So Ms. Brady, you'll need to keep an eye on that to see if he can handle that. But we also talked about things she can do in the visit with him that are interactive, like reading or doing a game together or something like that. So we're hoping that we can make the visits be as productive for him as possible so that he feels supported by his mom.
Okay. I think under the circumstances, yeah, I think the shorter visits would certainly be better, but we'll get everybody, Mr. Nowak's, to weigh in on that as well, but I suspect his response will be the same. Okay, then, I'll approve the agreement then between mom and the department for no child support, no medical support. And we obviously want mom to have those resources to, work services and for visits and things like that. So, okay, then with respect to Mr. Eben, then I guess, Mr. Trout, I'll let you go ahead and call your first witness.
Call Amy Bailey, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Bailey, if you'll raise your right hand, you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you'll give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Okay, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Bailey, would you state your name for the record, please?
Amy Bailey.
And Ms. Bailey, how are you employed?
I'm an investigator with the Department of Family and Protective Services.
And you were the investigator on the case involving the child, Brian Eben?
Yes.
You heard the announcement as far as mom and being in agreement, correct?
Yes.
So as far as dad involved in this case, was dad present during any of this?
No.
Okay. Where is dad currently located?
He is incarcerated in the Wheeler unit.
Okay. Have you had a chance to speak with him?
I have not. A coworker did speak to him last week while I was out. He did receive my letter notifying him of the case, and he also received paperwork that I mailed, the removal paperwork for him to fill out.
Okay. And have you received that paperwork back?
I have not.
Have you received any request for an attorney back?
No, sir.
Okay. Per the notes from the conversation with dad, did he give any family members' names or anybody to look at for placement of the child?
No, sir.
Okay. Did he have any outlook on the case or what he would like to see happen with the case?
No, just that the only members that he could provide would be Pamela's family for possible placement.
So in the conversation with dad, he directed the department to speak to mom and her family?
Yes.
Okay. And that has been done?
Yes.
Okay. So at this time, due to dad's incarceration and him not being able to care for the child, and not providing any information of family or somebody to look at, are you asking, based upon an agreement with mom and dad being incarcerated, for the court to award temporary managing conservatorship to the department?
Yes, sir.
And at this time, do you believe that's in the best interest of the child?
Yes, sir.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Groff, any questions?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, and Mr. Nowak?
No questions, Judge. Thank you.
All right. Anything further, Mr. Trout?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Groff, anything to present today?
No, Your Honor, my client is in agreement. She is willing to do the services. We did already discuss the visits, and that was her major concern today. So I think we're ready to move forward in this case.
All right, thank you. Okay, Mr. Nowak.
Judge, I think it's in the child's best interest to have the department be named temporary managing conservator. I think continued placement, as far as I can tell, the child's doing well in placement. And, you know, I had 2 of my grandkids this weekend, and they are 5 and 7. And even in person, it's tough to maintain, you know, any sort of attention span with these. So I think shorter, more frequent visits would be in the child's best interest.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And thank you again for filling in. Okay, so with respect to the visits with mom, let's see.
Miss Brady.
You picked Ms. Brady. Ms. Brady, if you can go to work on seeing how we can try to do some, you know, like several visits a week, break up those time frames, I think that would be way more productive.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, then I will find the evidence is sufficient to name the Department of Family and Protective Services as the temporary managing conservator of Brian Douglas Eben, and I will approve the agreement with the mother. There will be no child support or medical support ordered. Obviously, Mr. Eben is an alleged father. I'm not going to order any support on him at this time. Do we want to go ahead and order genetic testing since we know where he's at? Or do we want to wait and see if he requests it?
And Judge, I believe he has actually been.
Has he been adjudicated?
Yes, ma'am. I believe there's prior orders.
Oh. Okay.
He was tested last time on my first CPS case, and he was 99.9 the father.
Okay.
Test.
I'm looking back. Hang on.
That's why I'm trying to find.
Yeah, goes back a ways, but let me.
It was done at the Attorney General's office.
Paternity evaluation report back in 18. I'm seeing. Hang on, let me pull it up. He is not excluded. And that is the father, Brian Eben, child, Brian Eben Jr. So looks like we've already got it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we'll get that changed in our stuff.
And Judge, I think there was in the final order in 19, there was some child support ordered. But with him being incarcerated, we're not asking to have that moved over right now because he's obviously can't pay it.
Yeah, we won't redirect anything.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll just say no change or no modification of his support order. It will just continue to accrue.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I can't remember where I left off. Okay, find a continuing danger to return the child home at this time. The department will use reasonable efforts to reunify the family. And I will see everybody back for our status hearing on November 13th, 2025. That'll be on a 9 o'clock docket. Okay, Ms. Oakley, I know you generally, you kind of know how this works, but we'll talk more about your service plan between now and the next hearing. And I will talk to you about that. There have been some changes in the law since you've been through this. So, but between now and then, the department will be going through with you about what kind of things they want you to do. So
Yes, ma'am.
we will talk about that some at our next hearing.
Okay.
All right, then I'll look for the order and see everybody back November 13th.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Did you say 14th or 13th, Judge?
13th.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
In the interest of Tara Wall, we are here today set for our adversary. We are
I think Judge froze. Yep. Judge, you froze there for a minute.
hang on.
Yes, ma'am.
I got a strange message and I tried to deal with it and then everything went haywire. Okay. I appear to be okay now. So where did you lose me, Ms. Galvan? I'm sorry.
The lost. Sorry, I couldn't unmute. The last thing, the last thing you said is that we're here today set for an adversary, and then we are, and then you cut off. Sorry.
Okay. All right, we're here for our adversary hearing today. So we are conducting this through Zoom. We're live streaming, and Ms. Galvan's making our record. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Daniel Trout for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. We're present, ready, Your Honor.
Savannah Kincaid, I represent Miss Wall. I'm present and ready.
Ken Araujo, the guardian ad litem for Miss Wall. I'm present and ready.
Stacy Zabala on behalf of the child.
All right, thank y'all. Okay, Ms. Kincaid, you expecting your client?
Your Honor, she's currently incarcerated in the Potter County Jail, but I have spoken with her and I'm ready.
Okay. All right then. Real quick, Stacy Brown's in the waiting room. Do you need her? Or is she for here something else?
You can bring her in, Your Honor. She may be the supervisor for the workers. Don't have the case. I can't remember.
Okay.
On who's getting this one.
Okay, and for the record, Mr. McIntyre is not present today.
And Judge, we'll have some discussion on that here in a minute.
Okay. All right. Okay, then calling witnesses or
We'll have to do both, Your Honor. Before I call witnesses, I did receive a signature and agreement from Ms. Kincaid. After speaking with Ms. Naranjo, they're okay with temporary managing conservatorship to the department. The issue from her side is the competency issue with mom on the services. So I think we can announce agreement as to the TMC. Her only issue is with ordering mom at this time working services, just due to the competency issue and being incarcerated right now, Your Honor. And we would not be asking for child support or medical support.
y'all did not plead this as a inability case, did you?
Let me look, Your Honor. No, Your Honor, I don't believe we did originally. We'll probably I think we're gonna have to make another supplemental petition, so we will add that in on this next one.
Well, not my call, but I just wondered if that would be appropriate in this situation.
I think it probably will be, Your Honor. It was just an oversight when we did this one.
You know, I mean, I've had Carmen forever.
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody knows that. So, I mean, to say that I'm not familiar with her would be, you know, a total
And Judge, if I may, I did meet with Miss Wall at the Potter County Jail. She seemed competent at the time I met with her, but I was concerned because she had been in and out of the rubber room before that, and she had just been released from that room on Friday. So while she's competent right now, she just started some new medication, and I'd like to see her competency continue for a bit longer before she'd be ordered to do services.
Understood. Okay. All right, Ms. Kincaid, you concur with that?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm aware that everyone else, I think, is much more familiar with Miss Wall than I am. And whenever I spoke with her, it was Friday, and she was doing well that day. But I'm absolutely happy to defer to Ms. Naranjo since she's familiar with her.
Well, I mean, historically, she's had good days, bad days, lots of ups and downs. I mean, her life is a roller coaster.
In Your Honor, I apologize. I overlooked it. We did plead that in.
Okay.
Originally, it's under 16.1.18 is the
okay
occurrence.
All right. Yeah, I mean, so she struggled with mental health.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I've had her for 10 years. So, and she was in care prior to that. Okay. Then with respect to the father, then Mr. Trout, I guess you're going to call a witness.
I will, Your Honor. I'll also, before we get started on that, after speaking with Ms. Kincaid and Ms. Naranjo, Mom gave them a different last name for Dad than what she gave Miss White. I think that name's been sent to Miss White. But I just found out about that Mom is actually given a different last name. So we'll take the testimony on that, but we may be filing the supplemental because we're not sure of the last name there.
Okay.
So with that, I would call Kelsey White, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. White, you raise your right hand. Thank you. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you'll give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Okay, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. White, would you state your name for the record, please?
Kelsey White.
And Ms. White, how are you employed?
I'm an investigator for the Department of Family and Protective Services.
And you're familiar with the case we're here on today involving the child, Tarua White? Excuse me, Tarua Wall. I apologize.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you were the investigator on that case?
Yes, sir.
You heard the announcements as far as an agreement with temporary managing conservatorship to the department is with Mom?
Yes, sir.
And in your conversations with Mom, did Mom appear to struggle from the mental health issues we talked about?
She did.
Okay. In regards to her, you're asking the court to award temporary managing conservatorship to the department?
Yes.
In your conversations with Mom, did you discuss who the possible father was of the child?
Yeah. Yes, she did give me a name for him and said she believes he's in Amarillo.
And what name did she give you?
Bryson McIntyre.
Okay. Did she have any information on that person other than the name?
No, sir.
Okay. Did she have any possible family members or anybody she knew by that name?
No.
Okay. Have you been able to track down or find anybody by that name at this time?
No, the accurate I requested actually came up with a different first name, and that he's somewhere down South Texas.
Okay. Since then, have you received a different last name for Dad?
Yes, I did receive an email this morning giving a different name. Do you need that new name?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind telling me the new name that you received.
Yes, so the email, it says Bryson James Dean McNett. So now I can run the new stuff I can and try to locate with the new name, but that's all I have with that as well.
Okay. And you received that name from Mom's attorneys?
Yes.
Okay. But that's the first time you have heard that name?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you asking, due to the department not knowing the name, not knowing which last name is correct, are you asking, due to Mom's incarceration and not knowing Dad, that the court award temporary management conservatorship to the department at this time?
Yes.
Okay. And upon further progress in the case, if possible, for Mom to work services?
Yes.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor. Oh, excuse me. Do you believe that's in the best interest of the child?
Yes.
How's the child doing at this time?
Really well. From the last update I got regarding doctor's visits and all that, she's doing really good.
Okay. Everything's settling in placements?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Kincaid, any questions?
Briefly, Your Honor, is the child currently in a relative or fictive kin placement?
No, ma'am. At the time, I didn't have any possible. I did get a name today, and then a call yesterday, so I can look into that now.
Okay, what are the names of the possible placement that you've got?
Are you okay if I look real quick? I forgot their last name. It's a Brandy.
And Travis Busby, would that be familiar to you?
The Busby name? No, I want to say it's Lewis. It was Brandy Lewis is who called me yesterday. The letter I got from Carmen today, the name you just said is what's in there. So I guess I also need to figure out which name that is, because the lady who called me yesterday said her name was Lewis, her last name.
Okay, but you are looking at potential placements that Ms. Wall has recommended?
Yes. I just also, I guess between y'all and the guardian, I need to figure out which person we're talking about to make sure that's who Carmen was talking about looking at for placement.
Okay, thank you. I'll pass the pass.
What were the name on the Busbys?
Brandy and Travis Busby.
Yeah, and the name I got yesterday was Brianna and Nathan Lewis, and they said Carmen had reached out to them. So I guess that's where I'm saying there's a little bit of confusion.
Brianne and Nathan?
Brianna and Nathan Lewis, yes, they said they got a letter from Carmen and went and spoke with her, and I have their all the information to run their backgrounds, but now with this new name, I guess there's some confusion, so I need to make sure I'm looking into the right people.
Okay. All right. Ms. Kincaid, any other questions?
No, Your Honor, I'd pass the witness.
Okay, and Ms. Naranjo?
No questions, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Zavala?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Trout, anything further from Ms. White?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, anything else from the department, or do you rest?
Department rest, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Kincaid, any witnesses to call today?
No, Your Honor. I rest. I will look into these names as well. The names that Ms. White gave are not the ones that I got, so maybe there's some wires crossed or something, but I'll look into that.
Okay. All right, and Ms. Naranjo?
I have no witnesses, Your Honor, but my recommendation is I believe it's in Carmen's best interest that she not be ordered to do services today, and at least until we know that she's more competent in the future.
All right, yeah, that's a bridge I don't really have to cross till our next hearing, and let's just see if she gets stabilized,
Yes,
you know, before we start going down that road. Okay. All right, Ms. Zavala.
Nothing to present other than a recommendation if you're ready for that at this time.
I am.
Your Honor, I do think it's in the child's best interest to be placed in the temporary managing conservatorship of the department. She has been placed in a foster home in Lubbock. I am open to home studies on either or both sets of names. But right now, she is doing very well. And I do recommend that placement continue while we investigate the other potential placements.
All right, great. I appreciate it. Okay, then for today, I'm going to find the evidence is sufficient to name the Department of Family and Protective Services as the temporary managing conservator of Tara Wall. And I'm not going to order any child support or medical support to be paid in the case at this time. I would find that there's a continuing and ongoing danger to the child to return the child to the mother or any of these alleged fathers. We don't really even know their identity. Obviously, we can't return the child to mother in jail. We'll hold off on talking about services till the status hearing. Maybe we'll have a clarification of fathers' names, and again, we'll see if mom has somewhat stabilized with the medication. And so I'll see everybody back November 13th of 2025, and that will be on a 9 o'clock docket.
Thank you, Honor. And for Ms. Naranjo and Ms. Kincaid, I believe Ms. Angela Tidwell will be the caseworker. Michaela Kurtzie's her supervisor. If y'all get any other information, you can send it to them.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank y'all very much. Are you, everybody that's done with us today, you're free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
In the interest of Violet Velarde, we are here for our adversary hearing. We are conducting this through Zoom. We are live streaming, and Ms. Galvan is making our record today. Okay, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Daniel Trout for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. We are present, ready, Your Honor.
Jay Michelson on behalf of Lorenzo Velarde. He's the father. He's present and we're ready.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of Violet.
Okay, my understanding is that the department got a signature from Ms. Sapien and her client, who are in agreement to the TMC. So
That's correct, Your Honor.
that's why they are not present today. Okay, then. Mr. Trout, or where are we with everybody else?
Your Honor, at this time, the department would make a motion for a continuance on this. I subpoenaed a witness, medical witness on this one, and spoke to them last night. They are unavailable today. And so I would need a continuance in order to have my witnesses here.
Okay, so Mr. Michelson, I'm taking by that then that your client wants a contested hearing.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Let's look at what date we could reschedule this. Ms. Katie is out for an appointment, so I'm going to be the one doing this. So y'all bear with me. I know that next Tuesday is totally out of the question. So is that Thursday. So we'll have to push it, I think, to the 14th. We've got 2 finals that day. I don't know, Mr. Trout, if you have.
Those could be a little messy, Your Honor.
We could set it that afternoon and kind of see where we're at. We might have to take a break in the finals or we could set this for a little later in the afternoon.
Yes, ma'am. Let me see.
Mr. Michelson, could you do the 14th?
Let me check my calendar real quick here.
Ms. Galvan, we've got a reporter scheduled that day, so this one wouldn't be on you.
In Your Honor, if that day doesn't work, I know next Thursday, I know it's a lot of cases on there. A lot of those are after finals.
My concern was we had 2 finals set.
One of those, we'll probably be submitting something prior to that. And then we
I've
have-
got a Hall County final set
Okay.
at 1 o'clock that day. That's my other problem because
I got you.
I have to travel.
Yes, ma'am.
I've got to drive from here to, I've got to be done in time in the morning to get from here to
Okay.
Memphis.
So the 14th does work for me.
So I think I'll have to do it the 14th. I don't think there's any way I can juggle that.
Sounds good, Johnny.
All right, let's set it on the 14th. Why don't we say 2? You think? What do you think? Is that late enough, or should we set it for 3?
I think 2's fine, Your Honor.
All right. So let me get it here. This is all kinds of pressure on me, y'all, to make sure I get this moved correctly. All right, I'll tell you what, I'll just take this up with Ms. Katie instead of taking your all's time. All right, so we're going to go to 10/14 at 2 p.m. All right. Okay, Mr. Velarde, I will see you back then on October 14th at 2 o'clock.
Yes, ma'am.
And everybody be prepared to stay till we get it done.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Appreciate y'all. Thank you very much. I will call cause number 100348-2 in the interest of Paisley Langford. We're here today scheduled for an adversary. We are conducting this through Zoom under finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. Sorry about that. Forgot to turn my video on. We are also live streaming and Ms. Galvan is making our record. All right. We will take announcements.
Sorry. Daniel Trial for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services are present, ready, Your Honor.
Kenner Alpha for the mother, Alexis Lyons, and we are present and ready, Your Honor.
Jay Michelson, on behalf of Brandon Langford, on his old case, it's my understanding that he needs to complete the paperwork for appointment in this case. I've spoken with him. He indicates to me that he needs the paperwork.
Okay, we'll come back to that here in a second.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of the child.
Okay. So, Mr. Langford, you're saying you've not gotten the paperwork to fill out to get an attorney? You're muted. You'll have to unmute for me.
No, ma'am, I've not been given any paperwork for an attorney. No, ma'am.
Okay. Has anybody at the department given that to him, or were we just, I understand the confusion may be that you were just assuming he would be appointed another attorney.
I'd ask Ms. Martinez, Your Honor. It's my understanding that paper had been and that had been explained, but I'll ask Ms. Martinez.
Yes, Your Honor, I went by Mr. Langford's house or where he resides, and I did drop him off the removal paperwork.
And did that include the request for an attorney?
Yes, ma'am. He said
Okay.
he would bring it back to the office. I still have not received it.
Okay, so Mr. Langford, I understand it could be confusing, but the county, auditor's office will require that I have, the actual application for
Okay.
court-appointed attorney on file. Now,
Okay.
I can ask you some questions sitting right here today if that's okay with you, and we may be able to at least address that today. I'll still need you to fill out that paperwork for
Okay,
me.
yes, ma'am. No problem.
All right, so Ms. Martinez, I guess we need to get that to him again if he doesn't have it, if he's misplaced that or whatever.
I still got that paperwork. I was just waiting for my attorney to sign all that to see what I needed to do with that. So I assumed that Mr. Michelson was still my attorney on this case. So
Okay, I'm gonna reappoint, I will appoint him on this case, but as your attorney, as long as you qualify. So, let me just ask you a couple questions. First of all, are you working?
yes, ma'am, I am.
Okay, and how much do you make at your job?
Hourly or weekly?
Well, how much an hour?
Makes 17 an hour.
17?
Yes, ma'am.
And how many hours a week are you working?
It fluctuates anywhere between 30 and 45 sometimes. It just depends on the weather.
All right, and then what kind of monthly expenses do you have? Like rent, and utilities, and all that kind of stuff?
I pay my rent, utilities, groceries, um, that's really about it. Really, well, tickets, stuff like that. But that's really about it. So
Well, like, do you have any credit card payments?
no credit card payments. No,
Okay, you got a phone, obviously.
phone bill.
Phone bill. Do you have a vehicle payment?
I mean, it's paid off.
Okay, but you own a vehicle.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay, so you have obviously time to time you get some maintenance and things on that.
Yes, ma'am. Maintenance, wear and tear. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you have rent and then regular utilities.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is anybody contributing to your household expenses right now?
No, ma'am, just me.
Okay. When it's all said and done at the end of the month, do you have much money left over?
Not much. Just just 300-400.
Okay. You're not paying any are you paying any child support on any other children?
No, ma'am, I'm not.
Okay. Do you have health insurance through your job?
No, ma'am, I don't.
Do you have any kind of health insurance?
No, ma'am, I don't.
If you get sick and you go to the doctor, you just have to pay out of pocket?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, I think based on that, then you're going to qualify, so we will appoint Mr. Michelson to represent you.
Yes, ma'am.
I still need you to fill out the paperwork for me so we can
Yes,
get
ma'am.
that filed.
I'll get that over to her today, so I still have that paperwork. So
Okay. So it is a formality, but I do need it done.
yes, ma'am.
So Mr. Michelson, what's our situation today? Are you ready to move forward, or do you need to reset this?
Well, since I'm just recovering from COVID and since I need to speak with Brandon, I would ask that it be reset.
Okay. You were in our last matter, so you know what our situation is on.
Yes. The 14th would work for me unless that's already packed.
I think it's already packed.
Okay.
We were sort of hurting to get it in, to get that other one scheduled. Let me get the calendar back up again. Hang on. Mr. Trout, those finals on the 14th, do we think those are absolutely going to go?
Let me look at them again here real quick, Your Honor. I've got a meeting on the 3 companion cases tomorrow, I believe, to see exactly where we're going with those. But as of right now, yes, those all of them would be going, Your Honor.
And then the other one that's set, you think will be going?
Well, it's yes and no. I mean, it's a situation. Mr. Naranjo and Mr. Michelson are the attorneys on that case.
Huh, okay.
We're having some issues with getting a hold of clients to get some things done. But if we could get them all taken care of, maybe in a better situation on that one. But that depends on if we can get in touch with the clients or the parents. But
How
yeah,
long do you all anticipate
right,
you need? How long do you anticipate you're going to need on this case?
Right now, Mr. Naranjo and her client are in agreement on this case. Depends on what Dad does. If he, if there's gonna be an agreement with him, it'll just be announcing an agreement, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to set it the 14th.
Yep.
Just, I'm going to tell everybody, just realize that we could get in a real bind time-wise that day, and it may end up being reset, which I hate doing. So we'll do our absolute level-headed best to reach it. Why don't we set it at, I set the other one at 2. Let's set this one at 3.
Sure.
Well, I'm trying to decide whether to set it at 1 or at, let's set it at 1.
Okay.
1:30. Let's set it at 1:30. If y'all have an agreement, then that helps. If you don't, I'll have a better feel by that time whether or not we're going to actually be able to hear it or whether we're going to have to move it.
Okay. And you said
So, yeah, so let's set it at 1:30. That'll let us try to get a full morning in on all this other.
And of course, Mr. Michelson, if you and Mr. Langford talk and y'all are in agreement, just send me the signature.
Yes, I'll let you know.
Okay.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, I think that's, all things considered, that's probably the best we can do. So, okay. So I'll see everybody back then October 14th at 1:30 unless we've got an agreement. And then Mr. Langford, get that stuff filled out and get it back. And then I'll let Ms. Katie know and she'll go ahead and make the appointment and everything.
Yes, ma'am.
So she'll do that, I'm sure, this afternoon. The problem is, Mr. Michelson, she may not be able to get that to you today. I don't know when she's going to be up and running on her stuff. So, but just, you can proceed and start acting as his counsel.
Okay.
Just put it that way.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Then I'll see y'all then. Thank you very much.
Your Honor, I believe this is my last
Thank you.
hearing. May I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you.
In the interest of Rodney Allen Evans II, we're here today on the second setting for our adversary hearing. We are conducting this through Zoom. We're live streaming, and Ms. Galvan is making our record. All right, then we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Daniel Trout for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. We're present, ready, Your Honor.
Natalie Archer for the mother, Riley Sumi, and we're present and ready.
Maureen Lucille on behalf of the father, Rodney Evans, Your Honor, we're present and ready.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of the child.
All right, thank you. Okay, Mr. Trout.
Your Honor, after speaking to parties, it's my understanding we have an agreement as far as the department being named temporary managing conservator and parents to work services. We're not asking for any child support or medical support at this time, just for parents to cooperate and work services through the case.
All right, sir. Okay, Ms. Archer, is this you and your client's agreement?
It is, Your Honor, and she is willing to work services. She doesn't agree with everything said in the affidavit, and she wanted to make sure that was on the record. There are a few allegations that she disagrees with, but she is willing for the department to be TMC right now, and she's willing to work services.
Okay. All right. And Ms. Lucero?
Your Honor, Mr. Evans is willing to work. Mr. Evans is willing to work services and for the department to be named temporary managing conservator. They will or they'll need help with transportation for services if it's something that can't be done virtually. He had also given a name of Angie Longoria that resides in Galveston for possible placement. I know that the department states in its affidavit that they gave a couple of names and they kind of did a quick background check. So I don't know if that's one of the names, but after this hearing, I can reach out to him to see what the issue is, if there is an issue with this name, and if not, then I can give him the contact information. And Mr. Evans wanted me to clarify the address that where they're living. I know that it states in the affidavit that they live like behind Liquid's bar. It used to be a bar, but it's been closed down. And so they have a place behind there. It's not ready for a baby to live there, but they're working on getting it. They have, electricity, they have utilities and things like that at the home. It's working on getting remodeled. It's my understanding, Ms. Sumi, part of her wages are to where that it pays the rent on that home from her job. And so they just wanted to clarify for the court that they do, they're not homeless. They have a place to stay, but it's not probably appropriate for the child at this time.
Okay. Where is the child placed right now?
I believe in
Lubbock.
Lubbock.
Okay, and I'll just toss this out. I mean, we don't have to make a decision about this, but to parents, I mean, we'll look at whoever you all want us to look at as far as possible placement. But boy, oh boy, it's going to be hard for y'all to do any kind of in-person visitation with the baby way down in Galveston. Lubbock's hard enough. If y'all are having transportation problems, I'm just saying, I think it's something you just think about, and consider. So.
And Judge, to Ms. Lucero's question on that, I talked to my clients on it. One of the names that was given during the investigation came back and had a RTB on a CPS case, so that's why that person was ruled out. As far as Ms. Longoria, is my understanding they don't have any contact information. They just know that she lives in Galveston. It was, and on the child resource form that I'm looking at, all it says is Galveston. There's no phone number, address, or contact information. So my understanding, they haven't been provided that information yet. So if we can get that information, be happy to look at them.
Okay.
And do we know who the worker will be going forward, or the permanency specialist?
Katie Smith, that's here on the screen with us.
Okay, I'll send her that contact information for Ms. Longoria. And Your Honor, just one more thing I was going to add. Mr. Evans also states that some of the allegations, I mean, he's willing, of course, to work services, and the child can't come home at this time, but he doesn't agree with all the allegations that were set forth in the affidavit, and he just wanted to get that on the record also.
Okay. All right, well, we'll take a look at this, but I just think parents talk about it and talk to your lawyers about it, and what that looks like if the child's placed that far away. So okay. And then of course, if you think of anybody else, in the interim, then you need to just be sure and let Ms. Smith know. Ms. Zavala, is this also your agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, I do believe it's in the best interest of the child.
All right, then, does anybody have anything else that they need to cover today? Good. St. Francis will take over the case. They'll be the ones meeting with you all, talking about what transportation they can offer. for what things and how all of that's going to work. Do we have, I know we had the drug test from when the child was born on mom. Do we have any drug tests on Mr. Evans yet?
Judge, after the last hearing, when we continued this, you ordered them to go last week. My understanding from just then, Dad's UA has come back. It was positive for marijuana at this time. The hair and mom's drug screens and the hair on Dad have not come back yet, is where we are on those.
Okay. There, and I'm going back into that now, just about where we stand as far as visitation is concerned.
ma'am.
So, okay. So we're obviously, because the baby's in Lubbock, we're probably going to have to do some virtual anyway. So we can obviously start out there. We'll get the drug test back and see. I'll just, if mom's drug screen comes back positive for, you know, methamphetamine or amphetamine or you know, any other, you know, fentanyl or any other drug like that, we have concerns about being transmitted, then her visits would need to be virtual until we've got a clean UA. But, you know, hopefully maybe we won't be dealing with that. So marijuana isn't going to exclude it. There's certain drugs. I mean, I'll just tell Mr. Evans and Ms. Simi, and I may have said this at our first hearing, that can be transmitted, you know, skin to skin, particularly with an infant, and it could be very dangerous for the baby. So it's not meant to be punitive to you all. It's just meant, it's just something we do for the protection of the child. So we'll see where the drug screens lead us in that regard. And you know, my hope is we'll have negatives on those. So, and I'm talking about the UAs. I understand your hair test might return positive, but what I'm looking at for purposes of visits is, you know, negative UAs. Okay, then I do find the evidence is sufficient to name the Department of Family and Protective Services as the temporary managing conservator of Rodney Allen Evans II. I would find that there would be a continuing danger to return the child home to the parents at this point in time. The parents have agreed to work their services. We'll talk more about your service plans at our next hearing. Between now and then, the department's going to meet with you all and talk to you about these things, and so you can get started on them, you know, pretty much right away. And I encourage you to do that. Stay in close contact with your lawyers. You know, they're busy people, and it's, you know, if they have to try to run you down because you've had a change in phone number or something that you haven't given them, it just is extra work. So if you have a change in number or address or anything like that, just let your caseworker know, let everybody know. All right, then on visitation, we'll just hold off and see what the drug screens reveal, but everybody knows what the court's policy is on that, so we'll adjust accordingly. And I'll see everybody back for the status hearing. That'll be November 4th of 2025. And that'll be on a 9 o'clock docket.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I appreciate y'all's cooperation and wish you good luck until I see you then on the 4th.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank y'all. In the interest of Arrow and Egypt Stotts Aguilar, we are here today on just this kind of a special hearing. This is a post-appeal case. So we are back under prior orders. We have our first review hearing set just within a matter of days. It's set for October 9th. And that's on a 9 o'clock docket. So obviously we'll do a full-blown review hearing at that time. But my understanding is maybe Mr. Morales, where there's some issues that you felt were pressing that we needed to get together prior to that.
Yes, Judge, and honestly, if nobody has any opposition, I'd like to see if we could conference with Mr. Trout, Ms. Zavala, and yourself, Judge, and just kind of go over a few things in a separate room.
Okay, you just want to have bench conference?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. I'll set us up. So Mrs. Zavala and Mr. Trout can go back to room 1. And Jerry, I'll assign you there. I'll join you all in there. And we can talk about some procedural things.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm gonna just sort of kind of summarize it and kind of tell you what we've had to cover some procedural things on a post-appeal case when it's remanded. It's when we've got it puts us back under the PM or puts us back under the, conservatorship order. And so, anyway, I think we've worked through those things, but in the process of that, it's come to the court's attention that the children were recently moved, which I did not know, nor did the children's attorney ad litem know until I think just late yesterday. Mr. Trout wasn't aware. I mean, so bottom line is there's some obviously very new developments in the case. And I want to make sure that the attorneys have adequate time to talk to their clients about this before we delve into anything too specific, because I think it's a big factor. What I would like to do is give everybody time to visit with their clients, and then I'd like to set you guys for a mediation. We'll still have our review hearing on the 9th. So we will absolutely still do that. But I'm a little uncomfortable doing much substantive today because of this recent change in events. I mean, Ms. Zavala's had no opportunity to visit with the kids or, to talk to the current placement home or anything like that. So everybody's just at kind of the real unfair advantage to really advise the court or to call witnesses or do very much today in light of that change. I know that so I'm gonna ask Ms. Katie while we're doing a few other things to look and see who we can assign as a mediator in the case. I obviously want that done as quickly as we can do it. And so Mr. Morales, since this sort of was kind of more or less, your motion, I'm going to let you just, if there's some things you need to go ahead and address today. You understand, obviously, I'm not comfortable moving forward with calling witnesses and making any substantive changes until Mrs. Zavala's had opportunity to do her job and Mr. Trout has had an opportunity to do his and everything. So.
Yes, Judge, and I don't anticipate calling any witnesses. I just kind of wanted a brief argument and kind of get an assessment on where we're at. Judge, I'd like to start by, I'm sure everyone's had opportunity and had a chance to review the 7th Court of Appeals opinion on this. So I'd ask the court to take judicial notice of that opinion.
Well, my only problem with taking full judicial notice of that opinion is I didn't write that opinion. I'll take notice that the opinion says what it says.
Thank you, Judge.
I don't have the, I wasn't a part of it, so to speak. So that's a little difficult, but I will agree that it says what it says.
Thank you, Judge. And as part of that, as part of, acknowledging what the Court of Appeal says, Ms. Stotts has concerns about the same as the Court of Appeals did about the court's and the department's obligation to address the stability of the home and proposed placement plans for the child by the agency. And with the children being recently removed, as we discussed, that is a significant change in terms of their current permanency and what we're going to do in the future. That's a huge factor in this, in our opinion. Also, the children's needs for permanence was just generally addressed. And Ms. Stotts believes that we can, have that better served with maybe not immediate reunification, but, something at least to reunify the children together. Getting on page with what exactly it is that Ms. Stotts might need to do to get the court comfortable with possibly, reunifying with her and not just reunifying with maternal grandmother. And so that's kind of what we call this hearing for, so we can get all on the same page. Ms. Stotts knows that obviously this opinion went in her favor, but it also it wasn't a mandate to immediately reunify her with the kids. And so that we're under the old temporary orders and there may be some things that she needs to do. That being said, Judge, I think it's a very good course of action for us to have the review again on the 9th after everybody's had an opportunity to discuss what we want to do moving forward with the most significant change, which is the fact that the children's placement was changed just this month and is most likely not going to be returned to the former placement. With that being said, Judge, I can discuss that with Ms. Stotts. Ms. Stotts, just to let you know, I am sitting in another court right now and I have 2 plea hearings, so you probably won't hear from me until either late this evening or tomorrow, but I will get with you, okay, really, really soon by tomorrow, okay?
Okay, but Egypt and Arrow were moved in August.
I thought it showed the 5th of this month. Was I wrong?
No, they were moved in August.
Okay.
When the monitor called for the visit, the foster parents or adoptive parents at the time said that the children were already removed on the 19th of August.
They may have been put in respite care. There was kind of an interim thing, Ms. Stotts. So I think what I had learned just here in the last several minutes is that they were put from that placement to what we call respite care, which most of the time when kids go into respite care, it's like if let's say foster parents had a serious illness in the family and had to go tend to somebody or be staying up at the hospital all kind of hours of night and day.
Right.
We may move kids to respite care, but then they come back. It's generally intended to be just what that word means, respite.
Right.
Just a recess. And I suspect that happened. The date you're talking about, that was probably the beginning of respite care. And then they were not officially placed in the other home until whatever date that was that you guys found. What'd you all tell me? The 8th, the 5th? I can't remember now.
The report states it was the 8th.
Okay. That was probably when the official placement in the new home happened. So that's the discrepancy. But I mean, I agree with you. They were moved into that home in August. You're absolutely correct about that. It was just under a different title. But yes, they were moved then. Does everybody concur with that?
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
The best of my knowledge. I just don't have that information.
Yeah.
Sorry, Judge.
Y'all had said respite care, and so that tells me they had gone for some period of time before official placement. Ms. Kirksey may be able to, or Ms.
Sessions
Ms. Sessions or Ms. Kirksey can probably confirm that or not.
I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry. My camera is not cooperating for whatever reason. I've been trying to turn it on since we came back, but there was respite care the beginning of August and the official placement was the beginning of September.
Okay. All right. So by whatever name you want to call it, though, I think we can all agree the kids were moved there in August then. Okay, Jerry, I'm sorry if I probably interrupted you. My
Oh,
apologies.
no, Judge. I mean, that's essentially all I have. The rest I can address with Ms. Stotts. And
Okay. So I just want everybody to have time to discuss this, what I consider to be a material change in circumstances in the case. And so Ms. Katie said Ms. Sermon is up next to mediate.
Yes, ma'am, I saw that message come through.
And so we'll assign her and hopefully you all can get something scheduled sooner rather than later. Miss Katie will get that appointment out as quickly as she can till they get our stuff figured out. May be tricky, but as soon as she can get it out, we will. And then I'll see everybody on the 9th. And I'm hoping by the time we get together on the 9th that, we'll have a mediation date set for sometime soon. And then we can, maybe be in a better position to start having some meaningful discussion about what needs to happen next.
Yes, ma'am.
thank you, Judge.
So I appreciate y'all's patience today. And so we'll all go learn what we need to learn and find out, and then we'll get back together.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, anybody have anything else? I'm not trying to cut y'all off. I just know some of you got other things to do.
Nothing further on my end, Judge.
Nothing further at this time, Your Honor. I'll meet with my clients and we'll be ready to address more when we get in on the 9th.
Okay. All right. For me. Okay, then I'll see you guys back on the 9th on a 9 o'clock docket.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you.